Compliance has become a bit of a dirty word when we talk about the continuous school improvement cycle, because we tend to focus on what the requirements of that compliance are, and it raises the anxiety of the teachers and the administrators inside the system. I believe a continuous school improvement cycle done well will cover all the aspects that are needed for compliance. But we fail to get there because we're so concerned about whether or not some heavy hand is going to come down about whether we met it or not. My favorite example around this is the last book that Dr. Seuss wrote, called Hooray for Different-Doofer Day. And in that book, the students at Different-Doofer School are taught to think by everyone inside the school system, from the cafeteria worker, the custodian, the building principal. And then one day they're told they have to take a test. And if they don't take the test, they have to go to dreary Flobber Town. And the pages are gray and not like the lit up pages of Different-Doofer School. So the test is actually the next day. So the students take it, and to their amazement, 2 days later, they get the data back, and 100,000,000% of them have passed, because we taught kids to think, and compliance kind of fell underneath all of it. So for me, that's the ideal of how it works. Increased and more visible accountability for our school districts has caused compliance to really be the focus of the administration and the teachers, and on some level the parents inside of a school system. And so when I'm working with teachers or administrators and that gets brought up, I try to stress for them that that accountability piece is just one piece of the real accountability that we have. We have an accountability to our students to make sure that they're prepared for whatever the world's going to have for them. That's not really measured by a test. We have an accountability to our parents and the taxpayers to make sure that the kids get the best education that's possible within our resource allotment. And we have an accountability to our profession to remain professional and continue to learn and do what we need to do. So I think that compliance has become a bigger issue because now there's compliance, but also attached to it is my name with a number. So we need to sort of move beyond that. And the way to do that is to start understanding, where does that number come from? What do we have control over? What don't we have control over? Assessments are a perfect example, because we need to understand what role that assessment plays, what it really tells us, what it doesn't tell us, and what it really measures and doesn't measure. And how can we look at an assessment system and not just focus on one tiny piece of it like the state assessment?